Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Hitman BK. I stream over on Kick, and I'm making another Diablo video. This is all my setup right now. What I'm doing is actually just live recording onto Streamlabs to bring you guys this Diablo content. I will edit some stuff as well, but when I make these, I'm actually just utilizing my layout for Kick. And Diablo 4 Kick Gods of Sanctuary up here is actually our clan in Diablo, which we are growing, and if you are interested in joining, let me know. I'd love to have you. But anyways, I'm kicking off this video to showcase the Blood Necro build we've been using here, and let me switch over and make that, and you don't see my crazy game room here full of kit stuff, and show y'all how to kind of what I did if you were using this from the start of the game. It's changed a bit some more. I actually got a really good unique for corpse explosions. This guy right here, which is really cool. It actually takes your corpse explosions, turns them into a volatile skeleton that jumps up and charges at enemies and then explodes on them. If anything, it's just fun to watch. But we're still working through this. This build is still in progress. We're at level 57. I'm not on hardcore. I will start a hardcore. I think I might actually start a hardcore necro and see how good this does in hardcore. If that's something y'all are interested in, sound off in the comments and let me know, and I will give that a try. And I'll do all of this live on stream. But for everybody who wants to start this out and you're wondering if you can do this from the start, you can. I did. However, I'm gonna put a disclaimer. I recommend when you're playing through the campaign to honestly build towards your gear, build toward these affixes that you get in your gear, the corpse explosion detonation, the consuming a corpse is 28% chance to spawn a blood orb, stuff like this. That way, if you get this piece, right, when your maximum number of skeletal mages is increased by 2, that's not really going to do much for you in this build. But if you're in the midst of the campaign, or even this Bloodlands deals 19% increased damage to its primary target, which actually sounds pretty good, I would swap things around, go Bloodlands, and just do it and have some fun. You don't want to get locked up or stuck in the campaign because you're just you're just sticking to one build. But anyways, the first thing I would do, your very first point, put it in hemorrhage. Put it in hemorrhage. This is what you're going to use at the start. It's decent. It creates the blood orbs. Blood orbs are great. And then when you get your second, well, you're going to have to build into this. I forget how many it is per each point. So apologies if you have to backtrack one so you can make sure that these next sections are open. But go everything into hemorrhage, put it in hemorrhage, go into enhanced hemorrhage, and then go into initiate hemorrhage. That way you have a chance at fortify through the blood orbs. Once you've got that, move down to your core skill and get blood surge. Just do 1 point in blood surge, and then put 1 point in enhanced blood surge and 1 point into paranormal blood surge, because you're gonna want this overpower right here. This is really, really, really good. Once you do that, go ahead and come down and get corpse explosion. Get corpse explosion, get enhanced corpse explosion, and get plague corpse explosion. You're gonna want corpse explosion because it will eventually generate a lot of essence for you, which is good. Until then, your essence generation is gonna be hemorrhage. So once you have that stacked in, go down and you've opened up your next skill, go ahead and get Decrepify. And then you're going to get Enhanced Decrepify and Abhorrent Decrepify. And that way you can have a chance at reducing your cooldowns, and you want Decrepify because you're going to start slowing enemies, as well as those enemies are going to deal 20% less damage to you. You only need 1 point. And then once you have that, you want to move down into your corpse and macabre skills, and you want to get corpse tendrils, because corpse tendrils and enhanced corpse and plague corpse tendrils, because you want that vulnerable. Once you've gotten this far, you are now going to have a decent way to continue to play the game and feel good about it. You're going to be able to use corpse tendrils right off the bat. You're going to use corpse tendrils, and then you're going to spam the crap out of blood surge, because you're going to start doing more damage to people who are vulnerable. And then you can use the corpse explosion to finish them off, you know, if you run out of essence. And then if you're out of essence, start using hemorrhage again to get that essence back. Once you've got that, go ahead and actually put your next point into gruesome mending and coalesce blood. And then you want, because you want to get into coalesce blood and tides of blood, you want to go ahead and put your points into those. So I would do 1, 1, 1. And then when you're done with that, you can go back up, and I would put the remaining of your points that you get, the next 4 points, I put them in Blood Surge. Go ahead and take Blood Surge 5 out of 5. If you're having a problem already before you've even gotten to this point, go ahead and fill up Blood Surge early then. This is going to be the first skill you want to go ahead, actually the only skill you're going to go ahead and put all, you know, you want to fill this up because this is your damage guy as you move through the campaign. You're going to be damaging the crap out of all of that. Once you've got that, you should have this ultimate skill unlocked. We're not using any ultimates on this build, but what you want to go ahead and do is get a point into standalone and get a point into Memento Mori. And the reason you want to do that is because as you're progressing through these points and you're getting the Book of the Dead unlocked, you want to sacrifice all of your minions. Okay, when you have you want to go ahead when you have this unlocked. You want to sacrifice defenders for that 20% non-physical resistance. This is what's going to help you become tanky because this build depends upon you being 80% or higher above health. That's what healthy means. If something says when healthy, that essentially means when 80% or higher in health. And then you want to go ahead and sacrifice your bone mages. That's going to increase your overpower damage. So it's going to make blood surge do even more damage. And then you want to sacrifice your blood golem, and that's going to give you your maximum life increase. I did run golem for a while. I actually ran blood golem with me because you can get the absorbed 15% of damage you would take, which is good again for that tankiness. However, I found increasing my life by 13% ended up being better. And the reason for all of that is going to be in this Memento Mori skill, because you can go up to 3 times and increase those sacrifice bonuses by 60%. Well, and that's for your skeletal warriors and skeletal mages. I'm sorry, because it doesn't increase the golem. But again, I thought the maximum life increased by 13% just was better because you want as much life as you can possibly get. Okay, so once you've done all of that, once you've go ahead and put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 in here so you can at least get some of the tides of blood, which you're really going to want because it increases overpower damage, right? And coalesce blood because it increases blood skills damage when you're healthy, which means 80% or higher, which you should always be anyways. Once you have this final passive open, you want to get Rathma's Vigor. The moment this is open, I forgot how many points it is, but the moment you can access it, go ahead and put a point in Rathma's Vigor. That's going to essentially guarantee you an overpower every 15 seconds. So while you are healthy, above 80% health, this on the bottom corner here, you see it right here. You can see it right here. Once this hits 15 and you do your blood surge ability, that is gonna do some nasty damage. Now, that being said, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because what you could do, this is I didn't do this, but I started doing this later. If you do not want corpse explosion, if you're not feeling like you need it early, get hemorrhage. Put 1 point into hemorrhage and then 1 point in enhanced blood mist and dreadful blood mist. Because when you pop hemorrhage, a lot of people use hemorrhage to be immune. It's to get out. I actually use hemorrhage to damage because when you've got that 15 and you decrepify and you corpse tendrils, so you got a decrepify. You throw decrepify on the area to curse the target area, slow the enemies, make them do less damage. And then enemies hit while afflicted with decrepify have a 15% chance to reduce your active cooldowns. Okay, you decrepify, corpse tendril an area and then throw blood mist on, it does actually really good. It ticks at like, sometimes I get like 5,000-6,000 damage on a tick. It just depends on all the stacks, and it's pretty ridiculous, and it ticks for a while. So if you're not feeling like you like corpse explosion or you are dying, go ahead and sub corpse explosion for blood mist. But if you're fine with everything, then what you want to do is go back to your remaining points now once you have this, and finish these out. 3 out of 3 coalesce blood and tides of blood. And then once you've done that, go ahead and unlock blood mist if you haven't yet, or corpse explosion. And then once you've done that, you want to go right into the Grim Harvest and Fuel by Death. Grim Harvest is going to be generating your essence on the Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion and Grim Harvest will combine so that you can generate essence, because essence is going to be your biggest problem. And then I actually like Fuel by Death because as you're consuming the corpses to generate essence, you are also increasing your damage for 6 seconds. Now then, once you've got those points in, and you need to go ahead and fill out Standalone and Memento Mori. That's going to, again, increase your sacrifice bonuses, and this is going to make you even more tanky because it's going to increase your damage reduction, and you don't have any minions, so you're not going to take any reduced cost there. And then once you've got all of those points in, after this, now once you've got all this set up, you're honestly just going around and putting in passives. Okay, that's all this is. After this, it's just passives. So then you want to go ahead and put into Hued Flesh. This gives you a chance to drop a corpse at a boss, which is really good. Because if a boss is not spawning minions, at least you have a chance to still spawn a corpse. So you can corpse tendril or use it to gain essence via corpse explosion. And that's it, y'all. I mean, I've still got some points I can allocate, and I'm just going to continue to put it into passive. Like I have one more point I can put into Hued Flesh, which I'm going to do. I'll probably take corpse explosion to 5 out of 5. But that's in general, that's what I did. That's kind of how I did that. And I tried to base it as well on the gear I was getting. I tried to look for gear, and I got really lucky on my affixes on those gears. And you can always go after an aspect too. If you're like, I want to just stay with this build, it looks really fun. You can go ahead and go into your collections and pull up the aspects that work for that and go after those dungeons if you want. Things like aspect of Grasping Veins, which is really good for that. Sacrificial aspect, which is incredible. If you're going to do this build, get this as soon as you can, because it just, again, increases those sacrifice bonuses. And let's see, what else do I have in here that you guys could go after? This is actually pretty good for this build. I was using it for a while. Because I was throwing a barrier up. This Decompose I didn't like. This Blood Surge Nova Echoes again is really good. Blood Bathed aspect is good for this. I didn't need it right now because I actually got it on another piece. I forget where they all are. We're not using Blood Lance, Blood Orbs. This isn't any good because I'm not using an ultimate, but I can show you an ultimate to use if you want to. If you're like, oh, I'm not using an ultimate, why? But I want to. I'll show you which one to use. So yeah, that's the progression system that I took. Hopefully that makes sense. I probably could have slowed down. I talk really fast. I didn't want to make this an overly long video. But just real quick at the end, if you're looking for ultimate to use, if you don't feel like you want Blood Mist to fill that final slot, spec into Bone Storm, as this will continue that tankiness. This is actually a really good. I was using this for a while. I just really started liking Blood Mist. And if you're gonna do Bone Storm, go ahead and put some points into the 1 point into Serrations, and then that way you can get into Rapid Ossification, because you're going to be burning through essence using the Blood Surge, so you can decrease the cooldown of Bone Storm. And Bone Storm's got a pretty long cooldown, so that's going to be something you really want. But it's nice because it tanks you tankier, and the Supreme Bone Storm increases your critical strike chance, which is that's honestly really good. All right, that's it for this. I hope this makes sense. Again, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions for me, let me know. I'm going to continue to make Diablo videos. I'm also gonna make I'm gonna make a lot of videos. I'm gonna start continuing to put stuff on YouTube. I really like streaming. I stream at night on Kick. I love hanging out with my community, and I love making content. So have a great day, and thanks for watching this. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.